Well, before we move on to your next question, could we flip the script right here? Does anybody? So, like, we're both consider ourselves like traditional guys. Do you guys have any questions like towards our end of the spectrum? We'll do a good 5 count.
I mean, why is it like so important to you about like your values? Well, I understand more you because like you're Christian, I don't know if you're Christian, but like why is it like so important?
Which values specifically?
Well, like that a girl is like
not a hoe.
Well, not necessarily not a hoe, but like
count?
You said she had to be short. She needed an Audi badge, like that kind of stuff.
I'm being humorous on that. So okay, fine. I'll actually address those point by point. I'll date a girl who's 6'5". I'll date a girl who's 4'7". Height is not a deal breaker for me. I have a slight preference for women who are shorter, but it's like, again, I'll date a girl who's taller than me. I'll date a girl who's super short. I really don't care about height. I say that somewhat jokingly, like, oh, if she's 5'2", that's too tall. That's me joking. When it comes to same, and I already said this, I prefer women with Audis. Is it a deal breaker if she has an innie? Absolutely not. Innies are fucking dope too. Sign me up. Innie, I'm down for an innie. I'm down for an Audi. Whatever.
I have a question. Do you guys have like a sex rule? You know how some people are like, oh, wait 3 months until you sleep with him?
I will not have sex with a girl if I'm not in love with her, and I will only fall in love with a girl if she is. I think she would be a perfect, like a good mom, because that's always a thing. I should be, and again, this is what I was saying. Like, I'm chief among sinners. I really try to abstain from that. I want to be like married, all these things, but like life is the way it is. I do try my best. But I would say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay. Like, let's say before you like fall in love with her and you guys take that next step, if she's like trying to like pursue sex with you, how does that like make you view her differently?
No, because that just probably means she's already in love with me. But I mean, like, I'm sure it's happened. It's happened both ways in my life. Like, maybe I was pursuing it, she wasn't ready yet, or the other way around. But there's no like date line on that. And for me, it's just like, I am not going to have the potential to have a child with somebody and then bring like part of my bloodline into existence where the mom's going to be a train wreck. Because like, I think it is so crucial. I think number one, it's most crucial for there to be a father in the household. But I think the best option in the entire world is to have a good mother and a good father in the house. That is the number one way to keep kids off drugs. It's the number one way to keep kids out of jail. It's the number one way to create high value, high impact people. And this is one other thing that I want to hit on, especially like in red pill media. People talk about, oh, well, you got to be high value. You don't want to be working a 9 to 5. You don't want to do all these things. Can we bring some honor and respect back to just like tradesmen, like good men who are putting the work in every single day, in and out, to make our actual world run? Like, and like, I tell people all the time, like, oh, do you want to be a millionaire before all your friends? Cool. Do not go to college. Go to trade school and become a lineman. Like, if you're a plumber in Cape Coral, where I live right now, you can become a millionaire by the time you're 35. Easy. Whereas, like, if you go to college, you're just going to be in debt, and, like, you might be breaking even at that point. And so, again, when I say, like, if you want, like, a high-value guy, I'm not talking about income. I'm just saying, like, a guy who's with it on, like, all bars. But anyways.
And I would also like to hear Brian's answer.
So the question was how long to wait for sex, basically?
Yeah, like, do you have, like, a rule with that? Or, like, what's your opinion?
Sure. So, I mean, my personal view on this is I don't think there's any need to wait, truth be told. I think it can be an indicator of potential promiscuity. Right. Some guys will be like, well, if she sleeps with you too soon, that means that she's a 3FO.
Foley donated $101. Congressman and Chase would make an amazing tag team on this panel. Their intense Christianity, their, in my opinion, more respectable values of love. Did we just become best friends?
So put that meme up. That's great.
Be a bromance there. Hey, dude, Fally, thank you, man. By the way, I lowered, so the read threshold, I need to change this on some of the other indicators. The read threshold is 50, and then the TTS threshold is now 100. I'm going to change up some of those things real quick. But
thank you,
to answer your question, so yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm not a big into, here, let's wait months, or I don't believe in waiting until marriage. I think it's fine to sleep with someone relatively quickly.
Would you initiate sex on the first date?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
And if she did it, you wouldn't be like, oh.
I think there's far
you know,
there's far better indicators of, is this person like promiscuous, or than the rapidity with which she sleeps with you.
Okay.
They're like, her body count's probably, that's a better indicator. Her other sorts of behaviors are a much better indicator of her character than how quickly, because she could just be like really into you.
Yeah.
Like a girl who's,
True.
for example, a girl who's a virgin might want to sleep with you after a couple dates.
Like one of the best sets of parents I literally know in the entire world, and they have like incredible children. They're awesome. They got married in 9 weeks. They met each other, got married in 9 weeks. And so like, and then I know some people who like dated for like, you know, they did a courtship. They dated for like 3 years. They did like all this spiritual counseling, all this stuff. And they had like a train wreck of a marriage. Before you move on to your next point, can I do one more? Or do you?
Oh, I was going to stick on that for a little bit.
Yeah, get it.
Well, I was just going to say, like, most of my long-term relationships, I've had a 2 year, or 1 year, and a 5 year relationship. In all these instances, I think we had sex within either the first or second date. And then I've had like not catastrophic, but I've had
Slash the tires.
bad relationships with women who are like, I want to wait a month. And it's like, I don't think and I know couples, for example, they slept together on the first date and they are happily married. They've been together for, one of my very close male friends, he hooked up with his now wife and they have kids on the first date. So I don't think now if she's doing that with like tons of guys, that's where it could be a problem. But if she's selective with the men that she sleeps with, now it could be a negative indicator, but I don't think it's like 100% determining factor. So for me, like if a girl sleeps with me on the first date, I wouldn't judge her for that. Sometimes, but if the vibes, you know, maybe you want to wait till the second or third date, like maybe she wants to wait, that's cool. I'm not a big fan of waiting too long though, because it depends. Like if that's been her standard for all her previous sexual relationships, then cool. But you've slept with 10, 20 dudes and you slept with all of them on the first date, and now you want to wait until marriage. That's your prerogative. I'm just not the guy for you. Go find a guy who's down to wait for marriage. I don't want to wait for marriage. So what's up?
Isn't it more ladylike if like y'all waited?
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
especially,
a lot of guys have that view.
Especially if her standard for all the previous, like it's I get that it's a tough position for women. Like, so for example, let's say you used to be promiscuous and you used to sleep with guys really quick and you slept with a bunch of dudes. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, well, you now have to be stuck into just sleeping with dudes super quick if you don't want, like, that's not what I'm saying. But I think as a guy, we're going to look at a girl like, okay, you're past 20 previous sexual partners, you slept with them right away, and now you want to make me wait? I'm going to start thinking, okay, she just sees me as a sucker. She's not sexually attracted to me. She's not physically attracted to me. She doesn't have that same burning desire that she has for those other guys. So I'm gonna feel a certain type of way about it. And that, look, again, you want to wait, that's totally cool. But if there's a misalignment, if you want to wait, I don't want to wait till marriage, for example. Maybe some of you guys here, you don't want to wait till marriage to have sex also. I think it's perfectly reasonable. Like, if you don't want to, whether you're a man or a woman, you don't want to wait, there's a misalignment there, you find somebody else to date. It's very simple.